G'day gamers, Ranger Tony here with a nostalgia playthrough. This is Dungeons of Daggorath. This game came out, as you can see here from the Roman numerals, in 1982. I probably didn't get to play it until 83, 84, somewhere around there, because it took a little while for the game to become available in Australia. But this was the very first ever dungeon crawler and very much influenced my life in gaming. This is a very innovative game for its time. You have real-time combat. You have this, as you can see, this 3D environment that you can walk through, these 3D tunnels. The sound for the time is amazing. You can be hearing all that in the background. Now you're hearing multiple different characters, creatures moving around, all of them making different noises. You've got the heartbeat continually going. That is the indication of your health. The slower your heartbeat is, the healthier you are. If your heartbeat is going fast, and every action will increase your heartbeat, you might have noticed just moving made my heart go up a little bit there. This was the game as far as I was concerned in the 80s, and I still think it holds up very well today as a game. The one thing that you will notice, this is just a little animated playthrough that it does before you actually start the game. The one thing you'll notice is the interface is a little bit clunky, where you have to type out the entire command, and this is because this is in a day before there was mice. This was on the TRS-80 computer, and I, while you had a joystick available, this game didn't run via the joystick, so all the commands had to be typed in. Now, as you can see here, that's a lot to type to do any action. It turns out that you can abbreviate every single command, and we'll see that in a minute when I actually go into the game. But yeah, this is a very, very early dungeon crawler, and it has things that no other game for years had. Just the real-time aspect of this game was something that really didn't eventuate in a lot of other games for years to come. So I'm going to... the graphics here is really bad. This is a Linux port. It's actually a Linux port of the PC port of the original game. It contains 3 different graphics modes, so I'm going to briefly show you those when I log into the game. And we're not going to be playing the game on this low graphics setting. We're actually going to go to a higher one. So what I might do right now is just do that and restart the animation. So there's a high-res version. If we abort the game and go back. So this is the graphics in the high-res there. You can see that the wizard there is much more defined than he was previously, as just a bunch of dots, and that's quite good. If I actually go into the game and we have a look at the environment that's available, hang on, is this actually going to be me? Yeah. Okay, so that's what the environment looks. If you compare that with this, the high res is so much better. But the one that I'm going to use, which is even better again, is the vector, where you can see much further and things look a lot better. And if I just go back and abort the game, even this wizard appearing, rather than a bunch of swirling dots that appear, he just sort of slowly fades in and slowly fades back out again. I quite like that. That's very subtle. The bar at the bottom with all of your text and everything doesn't change, and that's fine. I lost a version of this game that I modified a few years ago, where you see in this room, I had another bar up there similar to the bar across the bottom here with your hands and your heartbeat, and the one at the top, it had the level that you're on, level of the dungeon, the direction that you were facing, and over on the right-hand side, it had the percentage of your torch remaining, because torchlight is very important in this game. And I also allowed the game to run in widescreen. The game actually does scale very well, and you actually do have a larger field of view if you modify the code to get it to run in a widescreen aspect. There have been other modifications I've considered making over the years. I would like to modernize the interface so that you don't have to type as many commands. Using W, A, S, and D to move forward, move back, move left and move right, probably with Q and E to turn left and turn right, and maybe X to turn around. All of those sorts of commands would be good, or using the number keypad for all of that for the movement, and then having 2 dedicated keys for attack left and attack right, and then being able to type the abbreviated commands for other things like getting items or pulling things from your backpack, using things. All of those sorts of ancillary commands would just be normal typing. So that's what I've considered doing with the game, and I may still do that at some point in the future and come up with a version that I can show off. But what we'll do now is we're going to dive right on in. Now, I know this first level of the game very, very well. So we're going to pull into our left hand the torch from our backpack. If we have a look, we can E to examine and see what's in our backpack. L to look. We're going to use left, so we've now used that torch, and we can now see where we are. We're going to pull left sword. Now, even though I'm right-handed, I've always used my left hand for a sword in this game because of the typing arrangement. You need to do A space L to attack with your left, and that is a better flow on the keyboard. That was a little spider just there that appeared from behind us, and this is a snake, and he's just hit me, and you can hear my heartbeat going up. So there is this door around here behind us. That's where all of that snake and spider came from. What I'm going to do is I'm going to very briefly go to this crossroad here. Now, if we turn right, there's nothing behind us. And if we turn around, we can see this little hallway here. And look, here comes a spider towards us right now. Now, the spiders don't do a lot of damage, even at low level. So they're doing a little bit, and I probably need to kill him later on in the game. As your strength increases, the amount of damage that they do to you decreases. And so I don't really have to spend as much effort attacking or defending. So he's just dropped a shield down there. Now, and he's dropped a sword. Now, the mechanics in this game is that most creatures that are in the game will pick up anything that's been discarded on the ground before they will attack you. Which is why I'm leaving those items there, because I don't need a shield, really, at this point. And so I can actually leave these guys to just sit here, because oops, turn left. So there's no one coming from down that way. We've got this spider here. I better kill him now. They can't get past each other, so you can get quite a lineup of creatures waiting to attack you. And you'll notice that occasionally I can attack and it will miss. So there's lots of little things. And my heartbeat went up because I attacked 3 times in succession very, very quickly. So that causes my heartbeat to go up. If I don't do anything for a certain amount of time, you can hear my heartbeat slowly come back down again. That sort of fart noise, I like to think of it, that is the blob. Now, there's 2 blobs. They're called smiling blobs in this game. This is a snake. I don't know if I mentioned this before. Let's get that sword, and let's just... we don't know what it is yet, so we have to reveal it. Reveal right, and it's a wooden sword, so we'll drop that. Get right shield. Reveal right. That's a leather shield. It doesn't provide that much protection. It's a very ineffective weapon. You can attack with it. It makes a clanging noise like this. Right, but it doesn't do very much damage. Later on, the higher level shields that you get do more damage, and you can, when you get to the very end of the game, you'll have a mithril sword, an elvish sword and a mithril shield, and you'll actually do most of your damage with the mithril shield because you will find that if you attack with the elvish sword, it wears you out so quickly. Your heartbeat goes up so much that you don't actually want to use it very often. I'm fumbling things a little bit here because I'm trying to talk as well as type and etc. So normally I would be attacking a lot quicker than that and not allowing that snake to hit me. But I know that snake can't kill me with a single hit. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the sword and we're going to get the shield. Now, we're going to go back. So this is back to where we started. So we started right here. See how my heartbeat's gone up by moving? Now this could be a problem because I can now hear that rumbling sound. This one. Ooh. I'm going to move back to this crossroads. Okay, so that loud rumbling noise is a giant, a stone giant. We haven't had one of those yet. And we've got the little, that's a spider, that's a snake, that's the stone giant. Where's the blob? Not hearing the blob anymore. Oh, there's the giant. Okay, let's get something down there for the giant to pick up. Okay, so you just get used to typing really, really fast. A space L, enter, A space L, enter. And by having A and space on the left-hand side of the keyboard and then L and enter on the right, it's much easier for me to type. So that's why I put the sword in my left hand. So he dropped he dropped a torch. We don't know what that is yet. So let's get right torch, reveal right. It's a pine torch, which is what we're using right now. So we're going to drop that. That can just be one more item for the guys to pick up. Now, what I was going to do is I was going to head to one of the exits of this level. So there's two ways to move between levels. There's holes that you can climb down, and then there's ladders that you can climb down or back up again. If you climb back up again, you get attacked by a nasty creature that'll kill you very quickly. At this level, if I go down to level 2 and go back up, it's going to be a scorpion. And scorpions, you need magical light to see them. So I'm not going to be able to see it, and it's just going to attack me and kill me straight away. Scorpions are one of the few creatures that will not pick up things either. So when I get down to the next level, I need to be... No, the third level, I think, before I get the scorpion. I need to be very careful. They're small, but they will attack you straight up, and they will kill you. So that's the blob we can hear. So I was going to pick up all my stuff and go to this. There's a crossroad with a hole that leads down. And that's a really good place, and it's really close. So we might actually do that. Get right torch. Stow right. Get right sword. Stow right. And get right shield. Helps if you can actually type properly. So let's head down this way. It sounds like the blob is around there, and it is. There's actually 2 blobs in the first level. So if we turn right here and go through this door and then immediately turn left, because you can see there's a little corridor there. Now, there are magic doors, basically hidden doors, and there's one right here. No, I was wrong. I went one step too far, so I'm going to move one step to my left and then go forward. So there was a magic door there. I can't see it. Later on, when I get a magic torch, I'll be able to see that. So there's a door right in front of me. I'll go through that. And there's the hole that I was talking about, right here. And so this is a great place to sit and wait, okay? Because it's at a crossroad. And so any creatures in the area will come to you. Now, the way the tracking works for the creatures... Ooh, snuck up from down the side. He came from the left. So we've got 2 stone giants, one after the other, coming from this way. Do we have anything from that way? No. Not yet, anyway. There's nothing from there, and there's nothing from there. So the way the tracking works is very simple. The creatures know when they are lined up with you in any of the X or Y planes, and they will move towards you. But if there's a wall in between them, then they obviously can't get to you, so they will turn and go a different way. And then they'll just move randomly until they line up again with you, and then they will move towards you. So that means that eventually, out of just pure random drunken walk, as we call it in the industry, when you do a random thing where you just move randomly around and then and check at each point, here comes the blob. When you do that drunken walk with that line up, it means that eventually you can stay in a spot like this, and because it's two big long crossroads, you can be sure that most of the creatures will get to you eventually. So that blob dropped the first good sword of the game, which we're going to get right now. Can we reveal it yet? Yes, we can. So let's put that in our backpack. So we'll stow, S for stow, in right. Now to drop our left and then pull left sword. So now we have the iron sword in our left hand. There's also two more torches there we haven't revealed yet. So let's get one of those and try and reveal it. Okay, we can't reveal that. So that means that's definitely a lunar torch. There's three torches in the game. There's pine, lunar, and solar. Pine torches last for 15 minutes and don't have magical light. Lunar torches last for half an hour, and they do have some magical light, and they shine a little bit further than the pine torch. Solar torches last for an hour. They shine a very long distance, and they can definitely see all magical items, creatures, etc. So the hard thing with this graphics setting is it's hard to tell when your torch is starting to die, because this is used on... So if I switch to set option graphics normal, see how... Let's bring my mouse over. See how these lines here are no longer complete lines? These ones close up to me, and even the sword and this. That means that my torch is starting to wear out, okay? Because those lines are no longer clear. And if we go to the high res, you can see they're still broken. They're not complete. They're just really little dots. But once we go to the vector based, it's all based on color. So it's a little harder to tell. That's the only problem. Even though I like the vector view, it's a little harder to tell when your torch is wearing out. And that's why I had the modified version of the game that I made that had up here written in text, just the percentage that would say, 20%, which means you've only got 20% left. It wouldn't tell you the time, but you could use the torch all the way until the point where it was considered dead. So if we look in our backpack at the moment, our torch is considered dead right now. Okay, so what I should do is I should get... so let me stow that lunar torch, because we can't use it yet because we haven't revealed it. So let's get the next torch and reveal that. That's a pine torch, so we'll use it. Okay, and now if we pull with our right the lunar torch, even though we know it's a lunar torch, the game knows it's a lunar torch, but we haven't revealed it yet. And that just comes down to experience in the game. The longer you live in the game and the more creatures you kill, you get essentially more experience. You never see it anywhere. There's no way to see what your experience is. So let's pull right dead torch. Dead torches you might think are not useful, but they are actually really good as items to drop so that your opponents have something to pick up. So let's drop that. Now, what we're really waiting for here is the other blob. There's a second blob. And the problem we're going to have is how long we're going to wait before we're going to have to start wandering around and finding him ourselves. Because we need the second blob, because he carries the first of the rings. And we need a ring before we can go to the next level. Because on the third level, we face off against a wizard, and we need the ring from the first level and the ring from the second level to be able to kill him. I don't want to spoil anything, but this game is so old. But the wizard that you meet on the third level is not the real wizard. He's actually a fake wizard. He's still hard to kill, but as soon as you kill him, you get teleported with whatever's in your hands to the fourth level. And that's where it becomes really, really hard, because suddenly you've only got what's in your hands. You don't have any items that you can drop that your opponents can pick up, and everything is new. You've never seen any of these creatures before, and they're all very, very hard. So the fourth level is, without a doubt, the hardest level in the game. The hardest fight in the game is the wizard, the final wizard on the fifth level. But you get Galbrogs, or Galrogs, or whatever they're called, which are basically just a rename of Balrogs from Lord of the Rings. You get Wraiths, and you get Galrogs on the fourth level that you've never seen before. They are incredibly tough to kill. One of them gives you your Elvish Sword, the other one... there's more than one of each of them, but one of them will give you your Elvish Sword, another one will give you your Mithril Shield, and another one will give you the last ring that you can use against the wizard on the fifth level, and you really... it's a tough time. It's hit and run in that game, which you can do here on these levels as well, but I tend not to. So as we can see, everything is very, very quiet here at the moment, which makes me suspect that the blob is somewhere out in the middle of nowhere. The problem is that I don't remember the map of the first level well enough to be able to just wander around. But what I might do, let's get the torches. And the swords. Okay, what I'm going to do, this is basically facing east right now, okay? In case you did not know. I'm going to just walk in this direction pretty much as far as I can, not going too fast. I don't recall if there is a magic door here. There was, okay. So I think you can go a little bit further here. I think this is it. Yeah, so that's as far as you can go there. And I don't think if I try and move to the right, no. So what I'm going to do is just stand here for a minute and see if I can hear the blob. If not, I'll turn and face back the way I came, because this is quite likely either the very easternmost part of the map or very, very close to it. Alright, so I'm going to wait here, see if I can hear the blob, which I can't. So we're going to head back this way. And we're going to try and head for the very westernmost part of the map. Because the biggest problem we're going to have now is if we can't find this other blob soon. Okay, so this is the corridor that we were in before. If I go through that door there on the right, that takes me to the corridor where we started. I know that there's a little bit more. Ooh, there's another stone giant. So this up here, I think, yeah. So this is the westernmost edge of the map. I'm going to stand right here, because I think there's a bit of a corridor running along the westernmost edge of the map. So if I turn left, that's north at the moment. And if I turn around, that's south. And so if I come over here, for example, and turn right, What happens if I move left? Yeah, there was a magic door there. And so this is heading down to the south, see if I can get it, southwesternmost corner of the map. No, can't go through there. This may actually be the southwest corner right here. Okay. Just trying to move around. The big problem is that the blob doesn't make noise all that often. Okay, so we're in a little cul-de-sac here. Oop. Don't want to be moving too fast here because my heartbeat is getting up, and if I can't find this blob soon, I'm going to get very dead very quickly. If my heartbeat's too high and I get attacked by something, yeah, I can die very quickly. The other thing, you can't kill yourself in the game. I've never been able to do that. Well, not just by moving around anyway. There are some potions, and there's one that's bad for you. Ah, there's a ladder. And there's another potion. There are other potions which are good for you. If you drink the bad one, you can kill yourself. But just by running around, you can end up fainting, but you can't kill yourself. I think this is the corridor that takes us back to the blob. Let's drop right, pull right, sword. Okay. So we're going to just keep an eye out for him. It doesn't really matter. We could just stand here and wait for him to appear, but... Ooh, he's very close. Where is he? He's got to be coming through that door there, or that one there. And there we go. Iron Sword made it so much easier. And this is our first ring, which we should be able to reveal now as a Vulcan ring. Now, you have to incant the rings, and this was all stuff that you just had to learn. So Vulcan, if you do a bit of research, is the god of fire. So if you incant fire, it now becomes a fire ring, and you can actually use it. I wouldn't recommend using it just yet. And I can't use that torch yet. Oh, we just noticed the colour, the lines changed a little bit. My torch is dead again. So let's use the last of our pine torches. Now, I suspect that we're very close. No, maybe not. Okay. We can't be too far from the corridor that contained the hole to climb down. So I've just got to find somewhere that I recognize as the spot where Hang on. No. Hang on. Yes, this is our starting point. Okay. I knew something looked familiar there. See how high my heartbeat's getting? Just by moving around. And this was always the thing with this game. It always got my heartbeat going as well as the game. Okay, we are ready to go down. I'm just going to turn to face north. We're not going to go down yet. I'm going to save this, and in the next episode, we'll go down and we'll look at level 2. There's a stone giant coming. I might wait for him. But we'll either do that in the next level, or I'll do that off screen, and then in the next level, we'll head on down to see the next level. Level 2 of Dungeons of Daggorath. So thanks for joining me. If you like this episode, give us a like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next episode. Thanks a lot. Bye.